It's a pretty nice day outside. Still got some daylight. Why not fire up the live stream? Watch a couple more Cavan Sullivan videos. This video I'm about to watch was posted, let's see, a day ago. This is from 1 day ago. Every touch from Cavan Sullivan against Atlanta United. Philadelphia won the game, and they played with 10 men from the 26th minute onward. And we're going to watch the video, do some commentary, and then we will look at some chat GPT stuff to like do a breakdown, see where this guy Cavan Sullivan really fits in. I'll get into my commentary, but let's get into the video.
Cavan Sullivan, he's got a lot more freedom in the system right now.
Battle for upward mobility, depending on how you look at it. Philadelphia and Atlanta. And we're about set for match day 19. In fact, away we go. Manuel Latte Lott not in the lineup again for Atlanta United. Cavan Sullivan pressing to necessarily get too upset about Nashville, one of the top teams. When we spoke with Tata Martino, he said that the mentality of the team is still strong. He's looking to add in the attack during the summer transfer window. Cavan Sullivan brings it down.
Said this in the last video, but you know, he really just looks like he's not quite ready for the pace of play as a professional, but let's keep watching.
By Edwards. One back by Philadelphia. Here's the dangerous Sullivan driving it across.
That was a good instinct to have. To be 16 and know to drive that across instead of lob it is a good instinct to have. So I'll give him credit there.
You know, nodding it forward to Pico. Good from Atlanta here. This one's deflected. Just won the Supporter Shield a year ago. Here's Sullivan. There for me.
All right, let's watch that again.
There for me.
So it's a throw-in to him. Is that right? Throw-in's bouncing. He chests it up. All right, that was a pretty good to know to do that as well at 16. So he's got good instincts on what to do in certain situations on the ball. However, we will get into the things that he's doing wrong, but let's keep watching.
There for Mihai. Sullivan tracks it down in front of the corner flag. Goal kick.
You see right there, he kind of just like gets on the ball, gets overpowered, kind of like folds under the pressure, loses the ball. Let's watch this again.
There for Mihai. Sullivan tracks it down in front of the corner flag.
See right there, he extended his time on the ball for no reason, because right as he touches it,
Sullivan tracks.
see right here, he has the space in this area to like play it with his right foot back. You can also see his teammate here is looking in support for the ball, but instead
Down in front of the corner flag.
does a little step over like he's Ronaldo, and then just loses the ball. So kind of why this is frustrating to watch is like this guy's getting so many minutes at such a young age, and he's doing things that, and we'll get into like his development path versus the one that I took, but he's doing so many things here that like if I had done this at the peak of my career and I only got as far as college soccer, like I'm getting pulled out of the game immediately, and then to see the field again is going to be a uphill battle. So he's been being given the benefit of the doubt over and over and over again, where it's like, bro.
Goal kick. Cavan Sullivan. His line. Helped on by Sullivan into the arms of Blake. Now Cavan Sullivan forcing Baez to retreat quickly. Sullivan, one of the more successful dribblers statistically.
He's definitely doing way too much like theatrics and stuff on the ball for being a 16-year-old in the game. Not only that, but playing in midfield, the step overs and everything, not necessary.
Header won by Pierre. Here's Zalowski, who had that attempt for Philadelphia.
Again, too many touches on the ball. He settles it down, which was good, but he's got his teammate right here with him. You can see there's a moment where all he's got to do is just take this instep and tap it along. Just tap it right along to his partner. Let's see. Right. It was before that.
Attempt for Philadelphia.
See, right here. He got it with the outside of his left. All he's got to do now is just tap that right into space for this guy right here. But instead, he doesn't do that.
From Almiron, quickly got it to Sullivan, but Sullivan gives it away. Goes into a sliding, taken back
Loses the ball.
by Jean-Jacques. Sullivan.
That was a nice driven pass up to the forward. I like that.
Sullivan. Zipping a pass in to Jean-Jacques.
So someone on the training staff at Philadelphia Union has drilled into him that if you're going to advance the ball upfield, you need to drive it. And he has absorbed that info, which is impressive, being at the age that he is. And so I think a lot of the time playing soccer, something that's not discussed as much, but it's true, is that you need to like memorize the best practice for each scenario that you get in. And in my previous video, I talked about how, in one of my previous videos, one example is like clearing the ball out. If you can't go wide, right? So if it's blocked for you clearing it wide, you kick it straight up in the air as high as possible. So if not wide, then high. So it's like the best practice in the situation. Another thing we just saw him do where he chested up to himself and the ball's in the air, and then he had the correct instinct to advance the ball in the air no matter what, even if you're not playing it to anyone on your team, because you just want to get it out of, create a 50-50 at least. So he has good instincts on what to do in certain situations. However, he's way behind the pace of playing the MLS. But let's keep watching.
Goals before, 3 goals since. Tough one to handle. Cavan Sullivan keeps it in play and comes driving forward now. Here's Cavan Sullivan. Westfield again. And now that
This is a good example right here. He's got wide open. Let's see what he does, right?
And now that means Sullivan's got space to attack.
Wide open.
Here he comes driving forward. The overlap from Westfield. Change of pace. Sullivan into the area.
He was hauled to the ground, to be fair.
Sullivan and in for Westfield.
Let's watch that again.
Side. Here he comes. Westfield again.
All right, he gets it right here.
And now that means
It's wide open.
Sullivan's got space to attack on the right-hand side. Here he comes driving forward. The overlap from Westfield. Change of pace. Sullivan into the area.
And loses it. He botched the shit out of that. The guy that ran around, just pass it off because that guy has a better angle to play a driven ball into the box.
To attack on the right-hand side.
No, he's coming here. There you go. This is your chance to pass it right there because you're squared up with this guy, but he has more space here.
Overlap from Westfield. Change of pace.
And at the very least, now that you've drawn 2 defenders here, you should click it right out over to here.
Sullivan into the area.
But loses the ball.
He was hauled to the ground, to be fair.
Sullivan and in for Westfield. Intercepted by Jean-Jacques. Sullivan bringing it out wide. Flashing a couple of step-overs, drives it in for Tom. Lukic. Now Sullivan. Sullivan. He returns the favor to John. Cavan Sullivan popping up on the left-hand side. In and out he goes. Now stops on it. Play suspension.
That was the best thing he's done so far. Give him credit here.
Cavan
Gets it out wide.
Sullivan popping up on the left-hand side.
Does a little move he's probably practiced by himself to give himself space down the line. Then he fakes the cross
And out he goes. Now stops on it.
and then plays a nice little pass right in there. This guy should just take a touch right to himself and then see if he could like toe poke it at the net. But that was That was impressive. That's something that even as a player I could not really do stuff like that. So he's got a tool set available to him.
Cavan Sullivan scooping it in. He was looking for Damian. Some interesting English on it, and Sullivan dealt with it really well.
It was a good header right out wide like that. So he's got confidence. So I'm seeing why he's being hyped. He has potential.
Sullivan tiptoeing toward the penalty area. Cutting onto his left. Sullivan diving save. Hoyos.
All right, he's doing good now.
Still looking for the first goal on the night. And that top.
What happened there, though? I feel like he wasn't. You got to go back and be wide open to the ball and open to the field with your back to the end line. But instead, he kind of closed himself off and turned himself. Let's watch it again, though.
Looking for the first.
See, when he took that touch, he took it in. So the ball's coming out. You want to open your hips up so that this right foot goes over this way. And then your back is turned like this. But instead he closes in on it. Let's watch it.
Still looking for the.
Yeah. This is not. Because right here he's limited so that he can only go like. You can see with my mouse. Like this area. But you want to open those hips up so you can create space over here if you need it. So this guy was reading that body language and then like out of position.
51st minute now, and in fact there will be the halftime whistle. United team if they want to keep that streak alive in the second half. Alonso, they've been finding Pierre though on these corners. He was denied by the crossbar in the first half. James now forward Sullivan. Sullivan drives it in low again.
It's kind of crafty with the ball.
They're working him inside out on the cutback. His first touch.
Cavan Sullivan. Sullivan calling for it again. Reverses course here. Driving to the byline. Sullivan cutting it back across. It's inside Wagner. Cavan Sullivan buzzing around. Pierre forward. Jean-Jacques now Sullivan.
Popped that up a bit.
First touch.
Right instinct, but he popped it up a little bit. But that's okay.
Buzzing around. Pierre forward. Jean-Jacques now.
This is the kind of thing where this is like if anyone asks me like, "Oh, why couldn't you be a pro?" It's like because I'm doing shit like this where I'm like accidentally popping it up a little too high.
First touch. Leave the field. And we got the subs coming in now for Philadelphia. This is Quinn Sullivan, now Cavan. Westfield gets it back. Drives it in. Cavan Sullivan trying to chest it down. Here's Cavan Sullivan. Full stand up. Sullivan. Philly, and he did so. Now he drives one in.
That was a good ball in.
Straight maintained possession. Alpha Pico's really
The infraction could occur without actually taking the player down directly.
being scored while down a man. This is Quinn Sullivan now with two defenders in front of him. Forced to circle back.
The fact that he has the confidence when he gets the ball to like go at people is a good sign. Also, the fact that he's able to last this long at within this heightened environment is also a good sign. And we'll get into talks about fitness and athleticism in a second here.
To this group, quite impressive. And they're working.
Cavan Sullivan side foots it over. Cavan Sullivan chests it down, lofts it to Quinn Sullivan. This time it's out. Mayumba takes
You lost it a little too easy right there.
away from Sullivan. If Philly want a result out of this one, down the line it goes. Cavan Sullivan. Scoops it in for Cavan Sullivan. Oh, what a save!
Almost scored right there. Let's watch that again. All right, he gets the scoop. He chests it out to himself. I guess that was pretty close. If he had like a little bit more loft on that, maybe it would have went in this area right here.
Still Jaja clipping it in. Cavan Sullivan brings it down back to 11.
That's a 25-yard run to the opposite end of the box. As quickly as this brilliant save by Hoyos.
And here's Sullivan.
Almost had that as well.
Side netting. Well, the fans rose to their feet. They saw the ripple of the netting. They thought Sullivan had equalized.
And MLS Next Pro.
It's funny because, you know what, he does have potential. Based on the people that they've trotted out for the World Cup, some of the roster. I'm not going to name names again, but people came in and they weren't even fit. And you can see this child at 16 years old has better core strength, fitness, athleticism, the whole nine than people that were at the most recent World Cup on the national team. So you know what? Watching this video, I am starting to get a feel for his potential. And like I said before, well, I can just say it this way. It's like having soccer skills is really just kind of like one component to the equation. I say this over and over again, but it's true. And I'd say there's three components. So there's the skills, then there's the fitness and athleticism, and then there's the mentality and the physicality and like the will to win, competitive drive, you know, the spark or whatever that's going to ignite the fire that should already be burning. But what people get wrong, the casual fans, what they get wrong is they look at these three components and they go, surely if you have, you know, how are they weighted? Are they weighted equally so that it's 33% on each component? But the truth, I believe, is that really at the end of the day, the fitness aspect of it, so how long you can run with core strength without getting tired, really in my mind is like, it's damn near like 85% of it, whereas the rest of the 15 is like the skill on the ball. The rest of the 20, let's say, and then you have to have the will to win in the competitive drive and everything like that. And it looks like he does have all three components. His mechanics are looking better in this game. He looked a little flat the last game I watched. I don't know how he needs to have more development because I don't think he's quite upright enough the way he plays on the ball. His legs are a little bit too spread apart, and it seems like his mechanics and his fundamentals actually could use improvement because you see when he receives the ball, he's like his legs are a little too far apart, and then he kind of bends his knees and like falls down like forwards a little bit. You know, he needs to be more upright on the ball. I was just watching a guy playing Jay Chapman, good example of someone who has the proper mechanics, proper technique that you really want to have to be refined and to be a class player. So can he get there at 16? It may already be too late, but let's keep watching.
And apply pressure to not be broken down.
Cavan Sullivan chips it in. It's left.
There's certainly studs that come back across on Sullivan. Great layoff.
Goal scoring and intrigue. This one certainly is coming down. Still looking for an equalizer up a man. Cavan Sullivan.
Oh, what a ball that is.
That was good.
Westfield. Sullivan swung and missed. Have to find out how much stoppage time we have left in this one. Cavan Sullivan now. Nifty footwork again. Quinn Sullivan. Cavan Sullivan. Split the big tall Pierre to head it away. And that leads us to the final.
Tip of the cap. One for the record books.
All right, that's the video footage. Now let's just I'm going to bring up. So I went to this page here. This was